星島中文電台半斤八兩論大選。
歡迎大家再返嚟呢個星島中文台半斤八兩，由我嚟到主持訪問 Andy Wong 黃世德對選舉嘅睇法。咁嚟到最後同 Andy 呢一節呢，佢就想講下我哋今次總統大選啊，呢啲搖擺州其中有啲咩州係華人嘅票數會有左右嘅影響力咧 ，Andy。
So I think starting out, it's important to understand that there are quite a few states where Chinese and Asian Pacific Islander votes are significant. So this round, this cycle, there's as many as 15. Now, for the presidential, there's 8 states that everybody's talking about, and in almost all those states, the Chinese and Asian vote is significant. And I want to focus a little bit on Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Florida today.
Andy 就講啦，喺呢一個總統大選年呢，其實有15個州有好多重要嘅選舉係具有影響力嘅，但係對於呢個總統嚟講呢，就有8個州係呢個搖擺州，而華人嘅票數同埋亞裔嘅票數影響力好大嘅。咁佢今日呢就會同我哋分析下其中4個州，第一個就係 Michigan， 第二個就係 Wisconsin， 第三個就係 Pennsylvania， 最後呢個就係
Florida。So in 2016, in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, Hillary Clinton lost by about 70,000 votes from those 3 states. And the Chinese and Asian kind of vote in those states is, quite a bit more than that. And so we can be a significant portion of the votes in those states. And along with the other kind of voters of color in particular, which is a focus of Power Pack, with those voters, we actually can have a significant impact of closing the gap there. And I think that's going to be a pretty important critical role in those 3, in particular those 3 states.
Andy, did you say 7,000 votes lost?
70.
Oh, 70.
70,000.
咁Andy 咧就講2016年呢嗰個希拉里嗰個慘敗啊，喺 Michigan、Wisconsin 同埋 Pennsylvania 州加埋啊得7萬票，即係話佢喺嗰3個州咧係輸咗7萬票。但係如果你嗰3個州嘅華人票數同埋亞裔票數加埋咧，係其實多過7萬票好多嘅。所以佢哋今年咧呢個 Power Pack 嘅重點咧就係喺呢啲州發揮華人同埋亞裔票數嘅作用。
And then I think Florida is an important state to pay attention to. There's a large Asian population in Florida. It's a state where we've come close and we've even won once in the last few cycles. Al Gore came close, Obama won, and then Hillary came close but lost. So that's going to be a critical state because our numbers are huge in Florida and the rules have changed in Florida. So there's also the ability for a larger number of African Americans to be able to vote there. So I think that Florida is another state to really watch, and I really encourage our voters to get out in Florida.
咁Andy 話值得一提嘅咧就係 Florida 佛羅里達州。佛羅里達州咧喺呢一個選舉裏面咧可以係講一個最重要嘅一個州。點解咧？呢個州咧就有好多華人同埋亞裔嘅票數，但係你睇下喺上一次嘅選舉，希拉里係輸咗，但係奧巴馬咧就係贏咗嘅喎。但係奧巴馬之前咧 Al Gore 咧係以好少數嘅票輸咗，所以 Florida 咧就係一個真真正正嘅搖搖擺擺嘅州。咁呢一次咧，佢哋呢個 Power Pack.org 咧就會喺 Florida 嗰度努力咁發動華人同埋亞裔嘅票數。
And then lastly, on top of these states that are important to the presidential, there are a number of other states that are important for congressional and U.S. Senate races. And so we'll talk about that more, but there's 7 to 8 other states including places like California and Washington and Texas, where there are potentials of shifts around the U.S. Senate, around the U.S. Congress that could be significant. And as you may be all following, changes in the Senate would impact the ability to decide on Supreme Court appointments. And so it's a very, very important issue that we also should be paying attention to.
咁除咗呢個佛羅里達州之外呢，喺嚟緊呢一屆嘅總統大選呢，其實仲有好多其他嘅州份呢，會對呢個美國嘅將來、對美國嘅前途會起到關鍵性嘅作用嘅。咁呢啲州呢，就係加州啦、California 啦、華盛頓州啦、Washington 啦，同埋 Texas 德薩斯州。點解呢？因為呢啲州呢，就有重要嘅國會嘅選舉，特別係 Senator 嘅選舉。因為 Senator 大家都知道而家呢，就係由共和黨主動，但係如果有民主黨嘅Senator 選咗上去呢，就會產生一個改變嘅作用啦。因為 Senator 譬如話喺呢個選出美國最高法院嘅法官係有一個影響性嘅，所以而家邊個喺呢啲州贏到呢個 Senator 呢，就對美國亦都係有好大嘅作用嘅。So Andy, would you like to provide some summary remarks?
Just that it's really critical to get out and vote. I think that many times our communities feel left out because they're not talked about, they're not talked to, they're not really encouraged. But there's so much at stake in this election, whether it's the Supreme Court, whether it's the economy, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education. All of these issues are on the table right now. And so I just think it's critical for everyone, hopefully to be inspired to get out and vote, to be optimistic about the future. But I think that's the most critical thing right now.
最後Andy 就想同我哋講下，希望每一位在座嘅聽眾啦，都會發動佢啲朋友啲家人去參加呢一次嘅選舉，因為呢一次選舉呢，華人會做一啲舉足輕重而係全國性嘅作用。咁好多時候華人社區即係好似對選舉有啲冷感因為好多候選人都唔嚟華人社區嚟到聽我哋嘅意見，嚟到鼓勵我哋參與，所以我哋呢一次呢，就要自發性咁去參與，因為我哋嘅參與呢，就對美國嘅經濟、對美國嘅復甦、對美國嘅醫療福利、對美國嘅教育制度，甚至係最高法院嘅法官都有左右性嘅作用。咁多謝各位收聽第3集嘅半斤八兩。咁廣告翻嚟呢，同大家繼續傾下加州選舉嘅一啲議題。